Paltrocast.
Good morning. Well, is it good morning for you? You're LA?
I'm California. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's morning for me. Where are
Well,
you?
New York. It's still energy drink o'clock for me. Is it coffee o'clock for you still?
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah.
I got
There
it
you
here.
go. Any coffee endorsements that you can plug? I mean, every actor and athlete has one these days.
No coffee endorsements. You know what though? I guess kind of have the like cheese ball experience of I just produced a documentary in Italy a couple
Oh,
weeks ago, and I fell in love with the Bioletti like method of making coffee. So since I got home, I got one, and now I've got my husband hooked on it as well. So now that's like our new way of preparing coffee every morning, and it's been like game changer for me. I couldn't
wow.
get
That's extra effort into your coffee. Are you craft oriented with most things besides acting in coffee?
I don't know. I guess I like a little bit more of like the hands touch experience. I don't know. We were doing the Keurig thing before, but I just like it doesn't compare. You can't compare the quality.
Got it. Well, this interview was not paid for by Keurig or Violetti or anything like that. It was essentially arranged because of the shoulder dance team. Now, when did you actually film shoulder dance? The reason I ask is because people go through your Instagram, see that it was announced like a year and a half ago or so that you were part of it.
Yeah, yeah. It was a year and a half ago. It was not. It was the summer of what year are we in? 23. So the summer of 22. Yeah, we shot in Malibu. Over the summer. It was like not a bad place to roll up to work every day.
No, absolutely. So you're making a documentary in Italy, you're filming in Malibu. So you've kind of got the Sandler approach to filmmaking where you go, I've never been to France. Let's make a movie in France.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Malibu many times, but but you know what's interesting about it, I guess it's like the Judd Apatow kind of mythology is that it was the same director from Shoulder Dance was the director of the documentary that I just shot as well. So Jay Arnold, who
Oh,
directed Shoulder Dance, he hit me up and said, "I'm going to do this documentary. Do you want to come produce it?" And I said, "Yeah." So like we just when we worked together on Shoulder Dance, I think it just we work together so well, and I think a sort of our personalities complement each other and work really well together. So yeah, so we went and did this other projects as well, which was really cool.
great location aside, was it an easier film for you to make?
Shoulder dance,
Yes.
um, easier, I guess. I guess it was easy in the um idea that it was all shot on one location for the most
Mhm.
part. We shot in a house in Malibu, and so it was very contained. And there were only four lead of it's definitely an ensemble piece. And so between the four of us, we are like the main characters in the film, and then we had some supporting characters as well. But I think that allowed us to sort of explore the relationships and the dynamics in such a much more intimate, immersive way.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times on bigger productions or bigger where you have more characters, especially characters of different size, like roles of different sizes, you kind of come in, you do your piece, and you leave, and people go off to their lives. But because we were all four on set all the time, we were really able to immerse ourselves into the project in a way that made it feel more effortless, I guess. And we were constantly sort of exploring and discussing these relationships and dynamics, and I don't know what drives each one of these characters. So I guess it made it, I guess, easier in that way because it was a little bit less of like, an actor's job a lot of the time is you do your job on set and then you go home and you grind out and you work on your stuff for the next day. You're memorizing the lines, breaking down scenes, and doing all the stuff to prepare for the next day. Whereas this, we were able to do a lot of that homework
Mhm.
together and really explore those things together and run scenes and run lines. So I guess yeah, I guess I don't know, easy was the word because it definitely these characters go to a pretty like deep place, and we're exploring some pretty primal feelings and with each one of these characters.
Got it. Is there still a text thread going of the four main actors?
Oh, there definitely is. Well, I think we have one with the four main actors, and then we have one with Jay, our director. That literally just before I got on right now, I was in that text thread.
Nice.
The five of
Yeah,
us.
that's a sign that a movie that, despite all the work that you had to put into character development and memorizing the lines and all that, that you look back at that fondly when you're still talking to the people a year and a half after you shot it.
Oh, absolutely. And I think I I mean this one especially, since we wrapped Shoulder Dance, Taylor Fry, who plays Josh, my boyfriend in the film, and Rick Kosnick, who plays Rick, no, his name is Rick. Oh my gosh, why am I can't believe Roger who plays
There was Roger,
Roger.
Rick
Sorry,
played
Roger, I had
Roger.
a
There was
moment.
Lily
He
by
plays Roger.
Maggie. Yeah.
Yeah, and they went and they shot a movie together that Taylor wrote and produced. They shot a movie right afterwards. And then another film that I was producing that's been a passion project of mine for 12 years that we finally went to production the beginning of this year. I brought on Maggie to play my wife in the film. And then I worked with Jay on this independent. So we've all like continued working together since we've wrapped this film. And I think it really does say a lot for the sort of the connection that we had in the way that we all worked together. And it really was a special project for sure. And I think we all definitely really connected in a way. And I feel, I mean, I may be a little biased, but I feel like it's there on the screen too. I feel like the chemistry is there between these characters, and you think you see it between all four of us.
So there's a lot of boxes being checked where it's a film you're proud of. That's the first one. The people
Mhm.
are still talking to one another after doing it. And then you win all these awards from film festivals. So you got the critically acclaimed, the art and the creativity aspect to it, and working with people that you worked with on this on future projects. How often does that stuff happen? That along with the awards?
Yeah, no, I like we're super lucky to have had this experience. I think um yeah, I don't know. And also, it's crazy. When this film first came to me, I was really on the fence about it because I read it and I was like, wow, there's a really special story here. But I was at a place in my life where I just was like, I had a lot going on, like just with raising my kids and my family and
Sure.
everything. And so I was a little on the fence about it. And then I talked to a good friend of mine, actually Stephen Graham, who's the writer director of the other film, Sheepdog, that we just worked on. And he was like, man, you got to go do it. Like, you're listening to you talk about it, you obviously there's a story in there that you need to tell, so you got to go do it. And I'm just like so grateful that I had that conversation with him, and he sort of pushed me in this direction, because this was a film, I mean, not just like the final products, but it is definitely the final products, but also the experience of making this film, I
Mhm.
think impacted me personally so much that I'm like, yeah, I'm just really grateful that I ended up working on
Yeah.
it.
Well, are we allowed to know which project of yours comes out next? Is it the documentary? Is it Sheepdog?
I think Sheepdog will be the next film that comes out. I mean, I hope it could either be the documentary, which right now the working title is Happy Life, with Jay.
Mhm.
Um, but it'll be either one of those. Documentary films. I think well, I don't know. I don't know. This is my first documentary film, so
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
what the post production process is fully, but I think both of those are on the track to hopefully be out in 2024.
I admire the range of your projects because the first time that I found out about you, I didn't know that that was you in Entourage. So, you fast forward a couple of years, and when I was living in Manhattan, you were inescapable on the billboards for Kyle Extra.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was every 3 blocks. Okay, there's Matt again. Okay, cool.
yeah.
But you've been
It was
able to do
great.
the network TV thing. You've been able to do the indie film thing. Most people can't do both. You've done studio films as well. We've seen you on reality TV, etc. So I'd have to assume doing all that, but at the same time helming a documentary where you don't necessarily know where the work is going to come from, but it's going to be a craft oriented thing. That's kind of where you wanted to be all along.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was also getting to work on a documentary. I mean, it was during the strike, so there was not a ton that I could be doing anyway as an actor.
Right.
And I think that it was, producing was something that I had started getting into in the past couple of years, and to get to produce a documentary seemed like a really interesting and fascinating, or like, I guess like a new, like sort of just a color to add to my like my repertoire, my resume. I don't know, like to go work on something that I hadn't done before, and to
Oh
be a
yeah.
producer in the way that we get to like we get to craft the story and discover the story as we're there. You know, narrative films, you know what you're going in to shoot every day. You know what the film is. You know the bigger like objective of the story. Whereas in a documentary film, you know, you're just kind of showing up and you're finding the story and you're searching for it and you're exploring a sort of a human story from a different perspective or a different it's a different just a different way in. And so that
Yeah.
was really I don't know, that was a really cool experience and definitely new. But I kind of fall in love with it, you know, and so now I'm thinking like, ooh, what story can I tell next? What documentary can I go find next?
And is the documentary coming out with a name for your production? And in other words, is there a Matt Dallas production company that we don't know about?
I don't know about that. I mean, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
You have the logo at least in
Yeah,
mind.
no logo yet. Right now I'm just coming on kind of as freelance to work and produce on different projects. But I guess that would be, you know, a step at some points. That would be really exciting. We'll see.
How about Never Ending Text Thread as your production company?
I mean, that's not a bad idea because I have been very fortunate in that a lot of the projects I've worked on, I've kept those sort of text threads where I've been very lucky that I've worked on projects where people have like worked really well together, and there's only been one project that by the end of it, everybody was like, "Oh, thank God that's over."
Got it. Well, two quick questions and then I let you go. And those questions have nothing to do with Shoulder Dance or the documentary or your success. The first one,
Mhm.
what's the last concert that you went to for fun?
Oh, what show did I just go? I mean, oh my gosh, it's been a minute. What show was I at last? Probably Casey Musgraves at Red Rocks. I think that was the last concert I went to. Ah, she's so good though. That was a good one. It
Absolutely.
was actually my son's first concert too. He loved Casey's because I would always have it playing, and so he got to go to Red Rocks for his first concert. Not bad.
I still haven't been to Red Rock, so your son
Oh man, it's
far
beautiful.
ahead of me. So what can you do?
Well,
And
I guess it's kind of on the other side of the country, so that's okay.
yeah, and the last question, all we know about you is family man because we see that on social media, a good Halloween costume. Okay, so there's that, and then there's the working steadily thing. But what's the number two or number three passion besides the craft and the family for you? Because you're still a mystery all these years later.
Ooh, really? Oof, that's a hard one. What is the
Okay,
passion?
let me
Yeah,
explain
yeah,
where I'm
yeah.
going with that.
Okay.
Certain actors, within 45 seconds, you'll find out, oh, I'm a woodworker. I go fishing. I have a solo album career. You find out that kind of thing. And it's like, okay, what do we know about Matt?
Okay.
Good actor, family guy. That's it.
I guess, but the thing is, I mean, it's like it's on my Instagram, but I'm very much also, you know, that I have this like my husband and I, like we've built this sort of like mini farmstead sort of life. So we're constantly building sheds, building chicken coops. I've got a ton of animals. I like to garden. I yeah, I have a pretty good green thumb now. It took me some years to develop, but I can grow a mean vegetable. Um, some big ones too. Uh, um, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe this that I love working in the land on like working on the land.
Sounds like a future documentary of some sort to me.
You know
So
what? Maybe so. We're gonna be doing one on organic eating or food, something. I don't know.
makes
We'll see.
sense. Well,
Yeah.
hey, congrats on Shoulder Dance. Looking
Thank
forward
you.
to that documentary. And just thank you for the many years of great on camera work there.
Oh, thanks so much, man. Thanks for having me.
Paltrocast.